Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Safari Mack Explores North America. I'm Safari Mack, your guide and host, helping you make connections to the wild. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. We're only 16 days away from Christmas. But if you don't celebrate Christmas, what's a holiday that you celebrate? Let me know down in the comments section below. But today, I hope we all had fun last week with our reptilian king of North America, the American alligator, because we are now leaving the southern part of the United States for a little while, and we're now traveling up to South Carolina, where we're going to meet a creature that has been known for its cunning and trickery. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the red fox, or known by its Latin name of Vulpes vulpes. But as always, if you're new to my channel, hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay tuned for more features. Check out my Facebook page so you can see some tips on conservation that you can practice at home, as well as conservation updates from different projects and zoos and aquariums from all over the world. And if you have questions, feel free to send me an email, which you'll always find the link to down in the description below. But if you're ready, let's uncover this creature's bag of tricks. Well, what do we know about this creature? Well, we know that the fox is certainly an animal that gives many people living out in the rural countryside or anywhere a pretty good splitting headache, as they always seem to be 3 steps, even maybe 4 steps ahead of its adversary. But how did it get so smart? For one, I don't think it went to Yale for that. I think this was a much older ordeal. Let's talk about their family and their evolution. First of all, foxes are part of the canine family, or the canids, which includes wolves, coyotes, our favorite family pet, the dog, and of course jackals. But now let's meet the common ancestor that would bring forth all these magnificent creatures that we know today. This was the earliest known wolf dog ancestor that first appeared roughly around 38 to 34 million years ago in North America. It was only because it was able to cross the land bridge that once connected America to Asia that eventually this creature would evolve different bloodlines and bring forth different predators and different breeds and different species that would make the canine one of the most successful animals to hunt and live on this planet. But now, the fox originated in Hungary roughly around 3.8 million to 1.4 million years ago. From Hungary to all across Europe and Asia, as well as staking a claim in parts of Africa, mostly northern Africa, they eventually made their way back across the land bridge and would eventually make their role in North America, where, as well as these creatures, as being with the red fox being the largest species of fox known in the world. But now, believe it or not, there are said to be 12 true kinds of foxes. These include the Arctic, the Blandfords, the Bengal, the Cape, the Corsac, the Fennec, the Kit, the Pale, the Ripples, the Swift, even the Tibetan sand fox. So, talk about trying to play cards with these animals. Hope they don't cheat on you. Remember, they're deceitful. Not really. Now, let's talk about their role in North America, their habitat, and their lifestyle. Now, the red fox actually shares its home with 2 other kinds. One of them is a kind of fox that it's not really a true fox, but it just has the word fox in the name. The other true fox that the red fox shares its home with would be the Arctic fox, which inhabits the remote north, where the red fox inhabits a good portion of North America, and then this guy, the gray fox, actually inhabits the southern part of North America. Now, the red fox tends to live in different kinds of habitats, as they are fairly adaptable creatures. They can live in mixed forested areas with a high variety of different plants and animals to be able to find food, where some tend to live out in the agricultural land or the countryside, where they can hunt different other kinds of prey, while they are also known to live in the city. It's true, but how is that so? Stay tuned next week for part 2, where we will uncover the secrets of how this creature can even live in a man-made environment. I know it's a little bit of a head-scratcher, but it is true. First of all, let's talk a little bit about family style and how they really live. Being a canine, foxes are really smart. And being smart not only allows them to catch different food as well as avoid different predators and like making their famous escapes through burrows or wherever they can pull a next trick, but they can teach their offspring how to avoid and to do certain behaviors and learn new tricks so that they can have a really good start in life, because I'm telling you, it is an often unforgiving circle of life. Let's talk about family life. Foxes are monogamous, meaning that it's just a fancy word for saying they will only mate with one other fox for life. So a fox will breed with a female, which is often called a vixen, where during that time, it's between late December and March, where they will breed, and then after a gestation period or pregnancy of 53 days, she can give birth anywhere from 3 to 5 kits. That's just another fancy word for babies or pups. You can call them whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. They're still the same. So in the early days, mom constantly moves her babies around to different dens that she establishes in her territory with her mate, the father of the pups, also helping out, sharing the role of looking after the young. Now, by the time the fox reaches around 7 months old, they'll be able to fend for themselves. Males usually go off and leave to find their own territories, which some have been recorded to go over 100 miles away from their original home, while females sometimes stay nearby with their mothers and actually will help raise their mother's next set of cubs. And I'm telling you, mom probably needs all the help she can get, because foxes only tend to live 3 to 4 years, as it's really tough, especially with the predators that they have to watch out for, which includes coyotes, eagles, great horned owls, bobcats, and even mountain lions. Speaking of predators, let's talk about their diet. Now, being a predator, they are super clever, and despite their size, don't be fooled. These creatures do pack a pretty good punch. They can eat rodents, squirrels, woodchucks, or what we like to call groundhogs, rabbits, birds. They'll steal their eggs, amphibians, and they've even been known to eat fish along with the wolves. They've actually been seen catching fish. But how successful are these creatures? Now, most predators seem to have a not big chance of catching it, maybe 25% of the time. Foxes seem to turn that fact upside down. In fact, Professor David MacDonald of Oxford University once did a study and concluded that foxes seem to catch 3 out of 5 attempts. So that increases their chances. And most of these were rodents that they had captured. But they're not above scavenging either. If there's an opportunity to feed from a larger animal, they'll do that to be able to keep themselves well fed for a long time. But they also will eat vegetation and fruits and nuts. It seems that their favorites are berries, which for me, that doesn't sound too bad. Now let's talk about their influence in human culture. Now, from lovable characters like Nick Wilde from Disney's Zootopia to even being literature, foxes have made quite a reputation for themselves. We've even taken their name and put it in words such as outfox to outsmart enemy, even foxy for someone's attractiveness. But now there's more. In Africa, West Africa, the Dogon people believe that the fox is like a messenger to the gods, or even a trickster god of the desert. But they've also been seen with negative as malicious or just devious, such as Honest John with his companion Gideon cat from the Pinocchio story, as well as in Chinese mythology, being women that lured men into their doom by sucking their life force out under the disguise of a fox, even being the child of the mother and father of all monsters of Greek mythology, Typhon and Echidna, with the Timucin fox, which was just a fox that would never be captured, even by the most skilled of hunters. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time I have left for today. Join me next week for part 2, and until then, this is Safari Mack. I'll see you out there.